Hey, what's going on YouTube? Jake here with Venture Visuals, and on this channel we discuss and break down popular music video effects and techniques for creative edits. Today I'm stoked to be showing you guys these 5 awesome overlay tricks that you can do on your own edits. I know a lot of people hear the word overlay and think that you just can only use it as something that goes on top of your footage, and that's why I wanted to make this video, because you can use overlays in a variety of different ways. You don't just have to use them as overlays on top of your footage. You can make all sorts of different unique effects using overlays, and I'm going to break down some of those effects today. So if you're excited to learn more about what's possible when you're using overlays, definitely hit the like button down below and let's get into the video. So I have this rough cut of a music video here on my timeline, and then over here in the left I have in my project panel in a bin called overlays, I have my entire overlay pack, which you can also download on venturevisuals.com, and we're going to be using some of these overlays to sauce up this edit here on our timeline. So the first cool way that you can use overlays is by making them transitions. So let's find an area on this timeline where we want to put a transition.
Back in this bitch, we lit. Yeah, what's out the city to fold? First round back on my shit.
So right there, it starts to get a little bit bland. What I'm gonna do is just take this glitch overlay here, which if you scroll using this little icon right here, you can see exactly what that is gonna look like. I'm gonna take this glitch overlay and place it in between both of these clips. So obviously we gotta get rid of the black color from this overlay. So we're gonna come over here to opacity, change it from normal to screen, and that's gonna get rid of our black background. So my texture overlay pack is actually designed in 4K, and this is a 1920 by 1080 timeline. So this is actually getting cropped out here. So what we're gonna do is shrink this overlay by 50%. So we're just gonna take the scale down to 50, and now we're getting the entire glitch overlay. So we want the most glitches on the screen when the clips are transitioning. So let's figure out, I think this frame has the most glitch effect happening. So we're gonna go ahead and cut where that frame is and just drag it right above our 2 clips here so that it's the most glitchy while the 2 clips are switching. So let's play this back and see what it's looking like. If I wanted to make this transition a little bit more glitchy, I can just drag another glitch overlay on top. So I have this other glitch overlay that's a little bit different. Let's drag that one on top of this transition as well. Just like we did to the first one, we're going to change the scale to 50, change the blend mode to screen, and now we have a combination of 2 glitch effects at once. Now we can play around also at the blend mode of this glitch effect if we want to get a slightly different look. I really like color dodge. Now we're gonna move on to the next way you can use overlays in a creative way, which is by using rotoscoping and combining that with layers, throwing on your overlays, and making something unique. So I really like this spot to create the effect because the kick drum is hitting and nothing is happening on screen. So we're gonna sauce that up a little bit. Let's take one more look here and start to imagine what we're going to create. So right there on that kick drum, we want something to start happening. What we're gonna do is hit C on our keyboard and cut this clip right on this kick drum. We're gonna take this section that we've just cut out, hold Option and drag it up to its own layer. We're gonna right click on this layer and hit nest. This way the frame rate matches up the same in After Effects, because that's what we're gonna do right here is we're gonna right click on it and replace it with After Effects composition. I always suggest nesting whatever you're bringing into After Effects before you bring it into After Effects, because it just prevents After Effects and Premiere Pro from getting confused about frame rates. So now that we're here in After Effects, all we're gonna do is select this layer, rotoscope this layer, and as you can see, I'm just gonna trace him out here using the roto brush tool. It's pretty easy because he is very much contrasted from the background, especially in this red jacket. It's pretty easy for After Effects to identify where his outline is, and we're just gonna make sure that After Effects is tracing everything as the frames move. So we're here at the last frame and I've got it all rotoscoped out. Now when I come back here to composition, we're gonna see him on a black background. To change it to a transparent background, just come down here to your transparency grid. From here, all we're gonna do is hit Command S. Now that we're back in Premiere Pro, we're gonna move our rotoscope layer up to video layer 3. So that leaves us with a video layer in between our original clip and our rotoscoped layer. Pick an overlay that we think is gonna look cool behind the rotoscope layer. So I think this blotch overlay is gonna look really cool with this this effect. So what we're gonna do is just drag this blotch overlay underneath our rotoscope layer, shrink it down by 50%, and then change the blend mode to screen. And now you can see we have that overlay popping up behind him. And we kind of get this really crazy cutout effect going on now because we have our rotoscoped layer on the top and then our original background on the bottom. So let's see what that looks like in regular speed.
She was always there for me when I was stuck in a bind.
Yeah, so it definitely adds a little bit of variety to the overall shot. So I'm actually going to throw another overlay on this. So I'm going to move my roto brush layer up one more. And I'm going to take this scribble overlay here and drag it in between. And we can see the numbers. So with this new overlay selected, we're going to change the blend mode to screen. And now you're going to see it popping up behind him. Let's maybe move it up a little bit so it's kind of separated from the white overlay in the background. So now we have like these numbers popping up behind them too, and it's these little details that are really going to make your edit slap and hit harder on the kick drums, on the bass drop. Combining overlays is a great way to add some excitement and some flavor to your shots.
She was always there for me when I was stuck in a bind. Anytime I hit her line.
So that's really cool, and it also is sick because this overlay specifically kind of like leads into the next shot as well. So we're actually gonna take this clip that we've just rotoscoped and replace it with an overlay. So to do that, we're gonna hop back into After Effects. So we're back here in After Effects and I have my overlay pack pulled up here, and we're gonna actually replace his outline with one of these overlays. So let's just take one of these glitch overlays again, because I really like these glitch overlays, and let's make him glitch out a little bit with the kick drum. So let's go ahead and drag this glitch and bring it into our timeline here. We're actually gonna drag this glitch below our rotoscope layer, and again we're going to change the transform from 100 to 50. So as you can see, that brought our edges in here around our composition, and now we're going to find a part of this glitch where it's actually like super glitchy. So let's find a part where it's super glitchy. This is perfect. So this frame right here is actually going to be the first part of the glitch that we see. So let's drag this first frame that we picked out over here to the very first frame of this rotoscope layer, and now what we're going to do is select this track matte key and hit alpha matte nested sequence 20. So now you can see that we have this glitch overlay happening inside of the rotoscope layer. So this is going to be really cool, guys. Watch this. Let's go over a couple frames here. Let's let them glitch for maybe 3 frames, and then we're going to go ahead and duplicate our rotoscope layer. We're going to hit Command Shift D to cut it. Cut the first part of it and make sure that we have this new layer turned on. So then he kind of pops back into frame. So as you can see, it starts glitchy and then he pops into the character, right? So then let's scroll to one of these last keyframes over here, and let's just decide we want the glitch to come back in at this spot. So we're gonna hold Command Shift D and make this its own separate clip here at the end. We're gonna do the same thing with this glitch effect that we created here in the beginning. Hold Command Shift D, and then you're gonna hold Command with the right bracket, and that's gonna move the layer up right underneath our new rotoscope layer that we just made. I know it sounds confusing, but hopefully watching this, it makes a little bit more sense. So now we technically have 2 layers with glitch overlays, and then we have 3 rotoscope layers. So these brown layers are our rotoscopes, and then these blue-gray layers are our overlays. So before we get this final glitch effect, we need to rename this new rotoscope layer something else. So let's just name it Roto New. Hit enter, and then we're gonna come back to this new glitch layer. We're gonna alpha track matte, alpha matte, Roto New. And then we're gonna hide that Roto New layer there at the top, right? So now he goes back and he starts glitching again, but obviously there's not a lot of glitch happening. So let's just move the glitch over here on our timeline and just adjust how much glitch we want. Tweak it around a little bit, figure out what's gonna work best. So now when we play it back full speed, we get this, right? So he's kind of glitchy, and then he pops back in and he's glitching again there at the end. So let's just hit Command S for this, go back into Premiere Pro, and let's check out what it looks like in full motion.
Down, might fuck around and get hit. She was always there for me when I was stuck in a bind. Anytime I hit her.
That is so sick. As you can see, that's the combination of 3 different overlays to get this look right here. So the next overlay trick is to just use the overlays to give us some texture. So I have a lot of these textures in this overlay pack. Let's take this classic static, for example, and we're gonna drag it into our layer panel here. You can see what this overlay is, right? So it's just these white speckled dots that are popping up, and it's just this kind of cool texture. So we can apply this to our entire edit. We can apply it to a couple clip, it doesn't matter. But whatever this static is going to be sitting above, that is where it's going to be applied to. So with this static on this top layer, what we can do is change the blend mode from normal to screen. And you can see how these white specks remain on the screen, and it's just gonna give our edit some texture, right? It's just gonna make the screen animated. So let's check out what this looks like in full motion. And remember, it's gonna be very subtle. It's almost gonna be unnoticeable.
She was always there for me when I was stuck in a bind. Yeah. Anytime I hit her line, shorty always had time. Back on my grind, back on my shit, got money on my mind. I feel like Kobe when he lost to Boston back in the finals in 09.
It obviously looks so sick, especially over like these clips right here. You can just see these little specks that are popping into the screen, and there's a lot of really awesome textures just like that in this pack. I really like these scribbles that are in the pack, so let's drag those into our timeline here, change them down to 50%, change our blend mode from normal to screen. I'm gonna move these scribbles over this clip right here. It actually times up pretty nicely, so let's check out what these scribbles look like as an overlay.
Fuck you niggas, y'all done got me started. Niggas trying to count me out like MJ 98 flu game. But I swear.
So I think I might actually like these scribbles more towards the end of this clip, so let's just move it over here and only use half of the overlay. So let's check out what it looks like now that it's at the end of this clip and use kind of more like a transition.
Me out like MJ 98 flu game. But I swear I'm about to.
So you can see how much flavor, how much texture that these overlays can add to your own edits. So the last really cool way I think that you can use overlays are as kind of background textures for intros and outros. I've actually customized the end of this music video so that we have some clips from the music video and then the credits will roll over here. But behind all of that is where I'm gonna use my overlay. So I'm gonna drag those clips up to their own layer, and I'm gonna pick a cool overlay that I think will be nice in the background. Let's use these scratches as a background. So let's drag those in here and make it 50% on the scale. And now when we play it back, check out how these scratches look in the background. So that is pretty dope right there. And then we throw some text on this. It's gonna be looking really nice. If you're a creative person and you're interested in joining a community of other creatives, definitely consider hitting the subscribe button down below. We're growing fast and there's a lot of really talented creative people a part of this audience, and we're all helping each other get better at our own visuals. And I definitely want all of you who aren't subscribed to be a part of this journey with all of us. For those of you who have been watching my videos, liking my videos, and commenting on all of my videos, I really appreciate it. It gets me super hyped, keeps me motivated to keep making more videos. So thank you guys for the support. I really appreciate it. And until next time, I'm Jake Venner. Peace out.